Welcome back. Welcome back. I am Dr. Samaria M. Covert. I am the founder of Kingdom Creative Counseling. That is a licensed mental health agency located in downtown Greensboro, North Carolina. I am a licensed therapist with 16 plus years of experience. I've written close to 60 books, and I'm an entrepreneur. I give you faith-based principles to bring about lasting change. I am so excited about this one, y'all. I am truly excited. We're going to talk about nice girls finished last. Nice girls finished last. And it's not going to be what you think. It's actually going to be very encouraging to those of us who have been nice, borderline too nice. And you need some encouragement, okay? And so I wanted to talk about this. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I was actually having a conversation with someone the other day, and it was very a good conversation. But the person asked the question, why do when you're nice, why do nice people get the short end of the stick, basically? Why do nice people get used, abused, mistreated, lied on, all kind? Why do all these bad things happen to good people? And as I was encouraging the person, I thought in the back of my mind, because you should be nice, you really should. There's so much going on in our world where people are really, 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 really struggling, and you just need, you never know how much of a kind word or just acknowledging someone and showing some of them love is so life changing almost. Um, and so I wanted to, so I was, as I was having that conversation, encouraging someone, I thought, there are lots of people who probably feel or think the same thing. Unfortunately, when you are nice, you will meet people, or you just generally have a kind disposition. This is something that life has taught me. Everyone that is in your face is not in your corner. And unfortunately, when you are generally a kind person, you're a person of integrity, you see people from the best light, you don't judge people for their past, you will meet people who are users or abusers and who are only there for what they can get from you. Okay. And so sometimes to the wrong person, you being nice transfers over to almost like you being naive, even though it's not. I mean, you live long enough, you grow, you become who you are. Eventually, you learn a little more wisdom and some discernment. But to the wrong person, you are preyed upon because you are generally a nice person. You know, I jokingly said people think I'm so nice. I got a big old sign that says, please use me and lie to me," because I have a big old sign on top of my head that says I am just as gullible as day is long. And that's not what it means. Okay. Um, One of the most painful things when you are generally a kind person, you've given from the purest of places, and when you generally have a heart for people, one of the hardest places or things to experience, not the hardest, but one of the hardest things you ever go through in life, is when you realize that the people that you have placed in your life, the people that you would have gone to bat for, the people that you meant no ill will toward, the people that you gave of your substance and of your heart, or even your and think the people that you had best intentions or were not there because of who you are or because of your heart or because you're kind. They were there because you are what they were their supply. They were only using you, but you had the best intentions towards them. Can the church say amen on that one? That is a painful place to recognize the people that who were really in your corner were never really for you. But in that painful place, when you come to that realization, uh, from that place, identifying truth leads you upwards to a place of healing. It's really important to us to have this discussion because you don't want to allow what you have been through cause you to cross over into being mean, nasty, or bitter. See, sometimes people that are this mean spirit did not necessarily start off that way. Like no baby come out the womb saying, let me be a mean baby. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes they have gone through things in life that have made them who they are. Okay, does not mean you so sympathize that you put up with someone else's abuse. It just means you understand the context by which someone is coming at your corner. I've dealt with a lot of people who have anger issues. Again, as a therapist, you deal with so many people with different proclivities and whatnot. And I realize sometimes people who are angry are not necessarily angry because at their core they're bad people. And sometimes they really are, but because it's like a defense mechanism. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to being nice, I'm going to give you 10 points of why you should be nice, but just give me my context and just give me your ear just for a minute. We're going to make it plain. You don't have to be a doormat all in the name of being a good Christian. And that's one thing I've learned. When I was being too nice and you can talk to me in your kind of way and you can use me and can I have, do you mind, do I borrow? And and it was fine. But once you start setting a standard for yourself and you say, no, I don't want to be treated this way. Don't talk to me this way. This is not going to be okay for me. No, you cannot use me. No, no. Once you start saying that curse word called no, it ain't even got to be one of the S's or the F's or with any other MDs and ABCD EFGs. Just say no to a abuser or a user. Just say no. That could be it. You arch enemy number one. Now you the worst thing walking. Now you snobby, you bougie, you can't get anything you better. All because that one word, that one word, no. And so when you're nice and you're kind-hearted, it does not mean that you become a doormat or that you allow the people to treat you in your kind of way or talk to you in your kind of way or just you keep being that person that some people I've learned this, if I've never learned something else in my life, I have learned from the painful places I've gone through. There are some people that you cannot help, and you helping them is only hurting you, or you helping them is enabling them to stay stuck. They will never find God for real. See, some of the people that use us, they play church, right? They play like they prophetic. You know, they play these games. They can get in church and shout and bye 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 and cuss you out before you leave the parking lot. Mean people. But they never will come into who God is and his love because you are there enabling them. So remember, loyalty and long suffering are not the same thing. So, let me I'll say something crazy. But I'm not gonna say what came to my mind. Sometimes you got to have a little filter, okay? But loyalty and long suffering are not the same thing. And there are things that we suffer long in that we don't have to because it's just not God's will. But nevertheless, with all the negatives of being nice and all the pain of being too nice, or quote unquote too nice, and all the accusations that come against you when you start saying no, when you do the right thing, because sometimes doing the right thing does not get you warm fuzzy results. Sometimes doing the right thing gets you accused, it gets you misused, it gets rumors and gossips being put up, all because you did the right thing. And the right thing to do, you should still be nice. I want to tell you that nice girls, they do finish last at the end. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna wait till the end to tell you. And I mean include, I'm gonna say nice girls, um, nice guys too. Nice guys do. Okay. They do, but the title's nice girl, so I can talk to the ladies, but you know the bros can come on in on this one too if you're a nice guy. All right. Point number one, and why you are kind, why you should be kind. Number one is this: it's simple, is that when you are kind, you show that the love of the Father lives in you. When you're kind, you show the love of the Father lives inside of you. When you find ourselves in Galatians 5:22 and 23, it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self control. Against such there is no law. So when you are kind, you are showing the fruit of the Spirit that dwells on the inside of it. Even if you say, I'm not really like a super Christian, but when your heart is pure and you show these or display these things, it means that the fruit of the Spirit lives in you. because the fruit of the Spirit is love. And so, and also teaches us that when we talk about discernment, okay, which I'll continue to talk about probably soon, when we're discerning who's people that are in front of our faces here, um, if they don't have love, which is displayed through kindness, if they're not full of joy, we all have a bad day, but you can't have bad having a bad day or having a bad hour, or it's not the same as having a bad life. You understand what I'm saying? Um, but your disposition is joy. You have peace. When you're a peaceful person, you're not you are peaceful, you're calm, you're quiet, uh long suffering. You don't throw away people. You don't usually it takes nice people a little bit more. They don't just love you and leave you and throw you at the door. It takes nice people some time to finally wake up and be like, listen, you got to go. But so goodness. So when someone does not display the fruit of the Spirit, they're not being led by the Spirit, my brothers and sisters. So people can talk a good game. I'm wonderful. I'm amazing. I'm a person of God. I love God. I love God. But your fruit does not reflect that you love God. But when you are kind, it is a reflection that the love of the Father lives in you, and then you can display it to others. Watch this. Let's keep going. We're not going to be long today. When you are nice, you are in position to love and be loved. When you for 1 Corinthians 13:4 and 5 says, love is patient. Love is kind. What's another word for kind? Nice. Love is kind. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor. See, someone that dishonors you does not love you. Someone that disrespects you does not love you. It's not self-seeking, self-motivated. People not, how we have done. People in our corner have ill motives. It is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrong. You cannot keep throwing up what somebody did 5 and 6 and 7 years ago. Keeps no record. Let's point number 2. When you are nice, you help others heal. You help others heal. A kind word, a kind disposition. Now, as a warning, sometimes when you're a kind-hearted person, hey, how you doing? And you can meet people and they interpret your kindness or your kind nature or your nice nature to be something that's not. They think you're trying to flirt with them, you want to date them, and what have you. And if that's not the case, you just got to tell somebody something. You have to say, listen, I'm just being kind. I want you to show you love the Father, blah, blah, blah. But they can misinterpret it, okay? So just because somebody likes you don't mean they want you, okay? Just caveat. Point number 4, God trusts you with his heart and his people. When God trusts you with his heart, he'll release you secrets to you. You've been chosen to understand the secrets of the mysteries of the kingdom of God. He can trust you with his secrets. He can trust you with other people's hurts. God can trust, and I'm not bragging, God can trust Samaria. This is why people come to me for counseling, because God can trust me. Right? Here's the thing, and his people. So God is not going to send you to great blessing to mistreat people. And so when God trusts you with his people, then he'll promote you to lead his people. Okay? The reason why David was selected, watch this, was because he was leading sheep. He has a kind disposition. See, when you have the love of the Father and kindness on the inside of you, God is the one. He'll promote you. Point number 6, it shows how you act towards others. It's really what is in your heart. How you act towards others is a reflection of what is really in your heart. Matthew 7:15-20 says, beware of false prophets who come disguised, masked, deceive, dissension, ill motives, pretending, disguise. Look at the word disguise. Okay, who disguised as harmless. As a matter of fact, hey Google, define disguise.
Disguise has 2 different meanings. Starting with the most common one, disguise can be used as a verb to mean give someone or oneself a different appearance in order to conceal one's identity, as in, we took elaborate measures to disguise ourselves as locals. Is that the meaning you were looking for?
Repeat that.
Sure, disguise has two different meanings. Starting with the most common one, disguise can be used as a verb to mean give someone or oneself a different
A
appearance in order
different
to conceal
appearance to
one's identity,
appear
as in,
to
we took
conceal one's
elaborate measures
identity.
to disguise ourselves as locals. Is that the meaning you were looking for?
Next.
Finally, disguise can be used as a noun to mean a means of altering one's appearance or concealing one's identity, similarly to false appearance and camouflage.
False
Do you want to hear
appearance.
disguise used in an example?
No, thank you. So hopefully y'all heard that. I will if not, I'll put the definition in the link. But when someone disguises, they're disguising their full identity. A lot of times, again, when you're a nice person, that you can relate to people who disguise their identity. So it says in Matthew 7:15-20, this New Living Translation, beware of false prophets who disguise themselves harmless as sheep, but are really vicious wolves. You can identify them. You can identify them. You can identify them by their fruit, by the way they act. Can you pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? A good tree produces good fruit. A good tree. A bad tree produces bad fruit. Verse 18, a good tree cannot produce bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. So every tree that does not produce is chopped down and thrown into the fire. So you don't have to put up with mean people, all in the name of loyalty and being a good, godly Christian. Watch this. Verse 20 says, yes, just so you can identify them by their fruit, so you can identify people by their actions. When you are kind, you identify by their actions. When you're not, the fruit that you have produced identifies you. Remember, this is a caveat. This is not a part of the message. I'm going to give you this one for free. Remember, false prophets always try to connect with true prophets because it solidifies their ministry. Okay, so if the devil cannot confront you through, cannot woo you away through accusations and rumors, he'll try to befriend you. Okay, so false prophets always try to connect with real prophets to solidify their ministry. Point number 7, you care about the well-being of others when you're nice. Point number 8, your character has been proven, corrected, disciplined behind the scenes. How someone acts in front of you is a indication of their relationship with God. Because behind the scenes, if you are a worshiper, if you actually have a relationship with God, if you actually study His word, if you know God, if you spend time with His word, how someone interacts with you is an indication of what has happened behind the scenes. If they don't worship God, if they don't really study the word of God, if they don't, you see what I'm saying? What you do behind the scenes is more important than what you do in front of people. Because if you're just doing it in front of people, then it's just a performance. But if you truly have been birthed in God and God and loves you and you have a relationship with Him, when you get in front of people, whoever that, whether it be the GED to the PhD, you'll treat people with kindness. But you're nice, so you know that. All right, let's keep it moving here. I'm running out of time. You reverence, or you have a true you reverence God, you honor Him, and it is reflecting in how you treat His people. Again, point number 10, God promotes others who reflect His heart. He demotes those who don't reflect His heart. Let me say that again. God promotes those who reflect His heart. He demotes those who don't. Remember David versus Saul. It's not that they were perfect, but David had God's heart. Saul had God a position. And so God will remove you from position if your heart is not truly for Him. Okay? All of us, you, me, Dupree, and everybody in between are replaceable. No matter how wonderful you are, how kind, it doesn't matter. God knows how to replace you. Now watch this. Almost done, y'all. Psalm 75, 6 and 7, Living Bible. And it reads this. For promotion and power comes from nowhere on earth, but only from where? God. Only from God. He promotes one and deposes another. That means he may promote one and put another one down. So when you are someone, watch this, who God can promote, it really has to do with your heart. And when God demotes you, it has to do with your pride. Now, the teaching I did yesterday was called the spirit of pride, and so you can, of course, reference that teaching. All right. So, lastly, why do nice girls finish last, or why do nice guys finish last? It's very simple. Find yourself in 16, Matthew 20:16, and it reads, so the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. For many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. You've been chosen last from people because you've been chosen first by God. So when I say that nice girls finish last, it means that you are in divine permission. You are in line for divine promotion. It means that God can trust you. I'm sorry, y'all. It means God can trust you. And because God can trust you, He's going to put you in positions that your heart, your mind would have never even fathomed. God knows how to promote, God knows how to demote, and God knows what He is doing. So it is true, ladies and gentlemen. Nice girls finish last because they finish strong. You may not have been chosen first, but you are the chosen of God. Now let's see here. I was looking down my phone because I forgot something to add something. You are chosen of God, and remember how God chooses, not how man chooses. Man looks at the outward appearance. God looks at the heart. Give me one minute, y'all. I'm trying to get distracted because I want to find my poem here that I want to read before we finish today. Okay. You have not been chosen. So let's find one more scripture here, but 1 Corinthians 1:27. I love how I broke this down, and it goes like this. In NIV version, it means, but God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. Watch this. So God does not call you weak, He calls you strong. And oftentimes, when you've been too nice to people or too kind, you think, man, why am I so weak in the area? Why did I not know that? Remember, it's not because you're weak, it's because you're strong. Okay? God trusts you and He created you like you are and He blesses you. Now, again, we have to use some discernment. You have to properly place people in your life. You cannot allow yourself to be used and abused and mistreated and all these kinds of things. You have to learn how to speak up. You have to learn all these things you have to learn. And you'll be surprised the minute you speak up, no matter how calm you are, no matter how you are kind and have nice, you'll be surprised what people say. They say all kinds, oh, yeah, you think you're better and you and all the type of stuff. Don't even worry about all that. Remember, God chooses you. It doesn't mean because you're nice that you should continue to be mistreated or misused, but still be nice. And remember, God is going to promote you. God has so many things I have not seen, ear has not heard, nor has it entered in the heart of man. What God has prepared for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. Many are called, but few are chosen. And remember, when God chooses you, He chooses you for the foundation of the world, but sometimes He also orchestrates your rejection too. And the reason why that is because He has to make sure that man gets out of the way. See, man is going to choose the one that looks the part, the one that sounds the part, the one that appears to fit. And God says, "No, I rejected him. I chose you." All right. Last thing, this is what I was looking for, and I forgot to put it in my notes. It is a quote by Mother Teresa. And I love this quote. And so I'm going to read it to you today. Quote by Mother Teresa. It's called Anyway. People often are unreasonable, irrational, and self centered. Forgive them anyway. If you're kind, people may accuse you of selfish or ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you'll win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spent years creating, others may destroy overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it was between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Even if you had been burnt, you guys, that's my quote by Mother Teresa, poem anyway. Even if you have been burnt, and you can say, like myself and many others who may come behind and hear this, you may say, hey, man, I've been burnt. I've been misused. I've been talked about. I've been accused. And all I ever did was show someone goodness and kindness. Remember, it was not about them. It was about you. And you can say at the end of the day, regardless of even if it didn't turn out the way I wanted to, even though I lost some friends and I may have lost some family, I know that I showed somebody the love of God. They may not have responded the way they should have, but me, I did my part. All right, God bless you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I have two other ones coming up shortly. One is going to be called Don't Shoot the Messenger. Another one's called Overcoming Insecurities. You can check me out at www.casimeriacobra.com. That's where my blog is, all my other social medias, training courses, free ebooks, all those things. So go to my website there. My training course is www.trainingchristianleaders.com, or you can go to my counseling website. You must be a North Carolina resident, www.kingdomcreativecounseling.com. That's one word, kingdomcreativecounseling.com. God bless you. We'll be back on the day and the time of the banger. Bye.